I remember the fire first. Not the warmth, just the sound. That dry, ticking crackle that fills gaps people don't want to fill themselves. My sister said it like she was commenting on the weather. Lightly, almost kindly. This party isn't really for your stinky country kids. There was a half-second where no one reacted, and in that half-second I thought maybe I'd misheard. Then I felt my daughter shift beside me. Not dramatically, just a small tightening like a muscle learning it needs to protect something. Her eyes filled slowly, as if they were embarrassed to do it in public. My wife didn't speak. She didn't need to. She looked at me with the look we've practiced for years, the one that says I can't do this one. It's yours. I scanned the room the way you do when you're checking exits without meaning to leave. Everyone suddenly very interested in their glasses, the fire, the ceiling beams. No one disagreed. No one agreed either. The silence leaned slightly toward my sister. Just enough. There were a dozen possible responses, and all of them were wrong. A joke would teach my daughter that some things are laughed off. An argument would turn her into the reason the evening broke. Leaving would look like retreat. I felt the old pull, family first, keep the peace, deal with it later. I had been trained in that reflex. We all had. But my daughter was watching me, not my sister. I picked up my phone. Not fast. Not angrily. Just the way you do when you already know what you're going to do. My sister noticed then. Her smile hesitated, just barely. I said one sentence into the phone. Nothing emotional. Nothing loud. Just a factual statement, the kind that sets processes in motion. The crackle of the fire suddenly felt obscene. Too loud. Like it was insisting on being part of the moment. The voice on the other end didn't ask questions. They said, understood, and told me what would happen next. It was practical. Predictable. That was the point. I put the phone down. For a moment, nothing changed. Then it did, subtly but unmistakably. Someone cleared their throat and didn't finish the thought. A chair scraped where no one meant it to. My sister's posture shifted, as if she'd realized the ground wasn't where she remembered it. What was that about? She asked, too casually. I didn't answer. I knelt instead, so my eyes were level with my daughter's. Her tears hadn't fallen yet. They were still deciding. You didn't do anything wrong, I said, quietly. The room heard it anyway. She nodded, unsure, but she nodded. When the authority arrived, later than drama would have preferred, earlier than comfort, it was almost boring. Names checked. A rule cited. A consequence explained without heat. No one raised their voice. No one needed to. My sister tried to laugh it off at first. Then she tried irritation. Then offense. None of it mattered. The rules didn't bend for tone. What struck me was how quickly everyone accepted it once it was official. As if they'd been waiting for permission to stop pretending this was normal. The party didn't end. That surprised some people. It just thinned. Conversations lost their shine. The fire kept crackling, stubborn and indifferent. My sister didn't look at me again. Not that night. On the drive home, my daughter asked, "Are you in trouble?" I thought about it. About the phone call. About the fracture I'd felt the moment I made it. About future holidays that would be slightly strained, slightly colder. No, I said. But some things changed. She considered that, then leaned her head against the window. The tears finally came, small and quiet, like they'd waited for safety. My wife reached across the console and took my hand. Not grateful, not relieved, just present. Later, lying awake, I wondered if there had been another way, a gentler one, a way that preserved more. Maybe there was. But I knew this. My daughter would not grow up remembering that her father stayed silent because it was easier. She would remember the pause. The phone. The moment the room learned there were limits. It wasn't a victory. It didn't feel like one. It felt like choosing what kind of damage I could live with and which kind I couldn't.